Oh, here we go. Gibbo's getting a fuck.
Welcome to the podcast. This is Not For Radio. We are your hosts, Dunc and Hare, Jay Reeve, and we have an absolute fucking treat for you.
Yes, the lads have come all the way from Australia, jumped across the ditch. We're talking about the Two Flogs. We've been fans of their work for quite some time, and it was great to finally lock horns. This was one of the more enjoyable chats, and there will be more to come from this little new bromance that we've sparked up.
Now, the Northern Hemisphere listeners, and maybe the American listeners, possibly the South African listeners, you might need to rewind a couple of bits because it is four blokes with funny accents going fucking hammers and howling. So
yeah. It's going to be an interesting listen and an interesting insight into four really crook minds.
So, if you want some of our team kit, keyword is flogs. You can send that through the Not For Radio Facebook page. Slide into our DMs. Name, address, email, and size, just in case you're sending a t-shirt. Maybe like one of these fucking sick ones. Enjoy the potty.
Hello, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you are listening to the Giant Dunc Not For Radio podcast. Get in the chopper.
Buster and Gibbo from Two Flogs, two busted fucking humans.
I clearly didn't see the countdown.
Just got a mid-mouth full of water.
Oh, it's like a comedy set. You got the time going up.
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
You've been too long. It's been 22 seconds.
You made me walk up fucking stairs.
Right. I guess a good place to start for the Not For Radio listeners would be the postcard version of the podcast that you guys do in Australia, and similar to ours, it's fucking gone pretty big overseas as well.
Yeah, we're massive. Which is,
he calls himself the Big Show.
We've got one listener in China that we've had from the start.
Yes.
We suspect he might be a spy that's imprisoned, and they're making him listen to us.
It's like an audio waterboarding.
Yeah, we fuck you, listen. And we give him a shout out every couple of months, and you look and he's still there. We're like, yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still being forced.
Yeah. C384 is still in China. We don't know his name. We just call him that.
And so when did the podcast come about? How long have you been doing it now?
2023.
Yeah,
at the start. Look, January, February.
3 long years.
And is this two blokes hammered on the piss going, we should start a podcast that actually went through with it?
This is a classic round the kitchen island at 4 a.m. While the
two blokes
is going on the
two blokes that didn't like each other.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we
grew up in the same little town, just a little town, probably 10,000 people, maybe less, Moolumbar, just a country town. And I was sort of the footy crew. Kirbs was sort of the fighting, born to be bikies crew. And we didn't.
Otherwise known as Christian.
You've been reading the news.
We didn't dislike each other, but we didn't do anything together.
Nothing.
And it was only probably the last 3 or 4 years we went on a Masters footy trip together. Sort of.
Yeah, and thank God one of our mates went through a rocky divorce and it brought me and Gibbo together.
Yeah. That's exactly how it worked, actually. He was really looking after sort of my best mate through a bad spot, and I thought maybe he's not a complete arsehole.
Yeah.
And then one day he goes, "You want to start a podcast?" I said, "No."
Absolutely.
No.
I enjoy my life.
And then we got around to, I said, "How much time is it going to take?" He goes, "An hour a week." Yeah.
And now we're in New Zealand for 6 days.
That's a great salesman.
It was a sort of a funny way around, and still now, like you say, every week we get people go, "How the fuck have you started this together? How have you doing together?"
The original Odd Couple, 100%. The original Odd Couple.
Yeah, so what were you doing outside the pod though? Like obviously,
I owned like a heap of whorehouses. It's also how I met Blair. Through work.
Is that otherwise known as a sheep farmer?
Yeah. I just knew him as B. Like, B's in tonight. Cool. I don't know.
Well, you're a comedian.
I forgot what the question was.
You're a comedian?
Yeah, I'm a comedian.
Then?
No, plumbing. So I'm a plumber. So I'm a third-generation plumber. And the worst of the three. And a couple of my old bosses will listen to this, so shout out, Wes and Knock. So I was a plumber, and then I went into the plumbing sales industry because I was actually, my boss at the time, he just goes, "Fuck, you can talk, man. You're in the wrong industry." And I went, "Yeah, cool." So I went into the plumbing sales part of my life. I was doing that until this happened.
Yeah.
Poorly.
Yeah,
I was doing it 12 years. I was doing it very poorly. And then I started doing comedy and stuff, and then like a bit of amateur shit, and then going down that track, and then that's it. And that's what I was doing.
Yeah, and I'm a punter, so horse racing for me. So do all the form.
That's like a lot of people don't understand, particularly in New Zealand. Like that is like in Australia, like punting is like a full-time
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
and are you running like a syndicate underneath you? People pay to get your tips, or are you just doing it for yourself and just rinsing cash?
No, no. I started my own website for like.
No, you don't need to continue. That's exactly right.
Yes. Yeah. Started my own website like 15 years ago, and it sort of took off. And then I was a horticulturist, and did that. And did
That's how you met me.
Yes.
Kirb.
And I just did it at the same time, and then eventually, places like racing.com and that now get me to do their form, and I do it that way. So I still bet myself and all that, but everyone can get them for free. I don't charge
epic,
anything. Yeah, so it's good. It's good.
Yeah, he's got a website
It's good.
it just puts it all up there. We've got a sporting partner that look after us, our major sponsor.
Yep.
So they come on board because of Gibbo, because that's his background. So
that's pretty much. And now, it's obviously taking up a lot more time than the hour a week, but it is enjoyable. It took me a bit more to get my head around it, but
yeah, I dived straight in, both feet. I just said, mate, this is going to be our job. And we're going to make a living out of this.
And you've got the world's worst sports podcast as well. The story behind how you got there is quite good.
A lady, we can't remember if she rang the flog line. We've got a flog line, like a flog phone. So we've got rid of that now. Now we just do it by email.
Yeah.
We can't remember if she rang the flog line or sent an email and said I was obnoxious, narcissistic. And she goes, and the sports show's the worst sports show I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So I instantly got onto him and just go, sports show's now called the world's worst sport podcast.
And it is.
It's fucking so bad.
It's horrible.
Have you heard of George Martin, the motorbike rider?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I call him George Martin, and people just go off their fucking head.
Every
I can't read.
Yeah.
They're like, it's Jorge Martin. I'm like, Martin. I can't still fuck it up. And I'm like, mate, his name's George. It's Jorge. And they're like, it's Jorge. I said, it's not fucking.
Yeah. It's a horrible show.
It's a terrible show. And it goes really well.
Yeah, you know when you get successful and you just put extra shit out for the sake of getting extra clicks. That's the show.
That's how it started.
That's the sports show. Yeah.
And we introduced it as the world's worst sports podcast. And for, like I was saying before, for a couple of weeks, I was introducing myself as the narcissist on the start of every show, just to piss that lady off. And then I had to ask my wife what obnoxious meant. And she goes, oh my God. And apparently that means really obnoxious if you don't know what obnoxious actually is. Oh, yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
But then you took offence to the fact that you were called
I
obnoxious.
got really upset. I'm way more of a narcissist.
And back to the racing, you guys buying, is this your first horse you buying with the podcast?
Yeah. It's gonna be the first one we do with the potty.
I've got nothing to do with this debacle.
Yeah.
This
So
is
Kirbs has wanted to do it for a while, and like I've owned lots of horses over the time. So I know the good, the bad, and in between.
Yeah.
I've bought them where they've never made the track, and I'm saying we are not buying
Actually,
bought them when they've never made the track.
How
Yeah.
confident are we now?
Yeah. And I'm like, we're not doing it, mate. We're not doing it. And he sort of mentioned it a few more times. And there's a guy really, my sort of racing mentor. He's a bloodstock agent. So I only buy them through him now. I only let him make the decision. So again, we'll put faith in him. And all the flogs can get on board and buy a little share in it. And I think it'll be pretty good. Imagine if we made a Magic Millions race day. They wouldn't be able to house us.
I thought bloodstock agent was like we were going to buy blood from a fucking horse and then mix it with something like a sperm thing, and we're going to have like a baby horse grow into a horse. And he's like,
A baby horse.
no, mate. And I said it to Angie, and she goes, don't tell you about that. I'm telling you that for the first time. And my wife's like, please don't tell you about that.
It
And
took
she
him-
Googled, she goes, it means the guy who buys the fucking horses.
I don't even want to tell you what he thought the mounting yard was.
That was a great day, though.
Honestly.
I went to the Gold Coast
it like a
races. I hope she doesn't listen.
Caught with his pants down the whole time. He's like, no.
He takes me to the Gold Coast Turf Club, and I'm like, you know how when you got like an autistic cousin, and your mum makes you take your autistic cousin somewhere? Well, that was me going to races.
That's
with
me
him.
taking Kirbs.
I'm walking behind and going, hey, father, yelling out, fucking talking to everyone. And then there's this gorgeous young bird that works there, and I just went, can you take me to the mountain yard? Because this is fucking going to be great. And she just, and she's just looked at me and gone, oh my God. And she's like a beautiful girl, like a young kid. Like, no, not a kid.
Keep digging.
She's about 25.
Keep digging. Yeah.
So a kid. And she refused to be mounted in the
No,
mounting
yeah.
yard.
He genuinely thought that's what the mounting yard was.
Yeah, I was just in there, just let's go. Who's going first?
Just go rifling through the bag, big bag of kit, just whatever the horse equivalent to Viagra is.
We went up to do a mental health day. We were hosting the mental health day, and it was fucking wild.
Yeah, it was. It's a great day, actually. I do a bit for the Gold Coast Turf Club. Men Matter race day.
Yeah.
So they've always done like Pink Ribbon Day and all that for the ladies, for breast cancer. Yeah, so they've started it now. It's about the 4th or 5th year Men Matter race day at the Gold Coast Turf Club for mental health and awesome.
We were told, well, I was told, he wasn't, he told me that the chairman or someone, we've got to be a little bit, because I swear a little bit, right? And I'm holding it in really well.
I haven't noticed.
I'm holding it in really well. I haven't sworn yet, have I?
I don't even know if you have.
Nah, no, I'm going really well. Anyway, they just go, mate.
It'll turn.
And he goes, this dude who's the chairman, he's a bit worried about us, me. And I went, yeah, cool. So what does he look like? And he told me. And I watched him walk in. As he's walked in, I was going, fuck yeah, cunts, we're going to have the biggest fucking day ever! Like 1,000 people. And this guy's just going, holy fuck, from the back of the room. I was going, big thumbs up. Gibbo's going pale. He's just going, oh, that's my boss, mate. He said no. And then I'm starting to tell stories about fingering things and fucking at this mental health day.
He really was.
And I'm like, this is what mental health is. We're making people laugh.
He really was.
And this radio DJ walks past and he goes, oh, you just fucking podcasted. You paid for your ticket, you piece of shit. And he's like a big radio. We won't say who he is because he's actually physically big and a big radio guy on the Gold Coast. And I'm going, fuck you, mate. But the funniest bit was Adam Reynolds. He sort of wigged out a bit.
Yeah.
And
he just didn't want. Yeah, he didn't. He doesn't love the limelight and that. So he didn't want to get. He goes, you'll go on stage, but he didn't want any like fanfare.
So Renault's sitting there, and he's like, "Fuck." He didn't want to go up.
Yeah, he's just like,
And old mate from we can't say, from another sport betting agency. He was winding it up. Like I knew he was going to say Renault. Renault's looking at me, and we don't know each other. It was just from the day, and he's worked out, and I'm a fucking idiot. And he's worked out Gibbo's the brains, right? and like, so I'm just going, I got this for you, man. He goes, what are you doing? I was like, fuck off, go grab my jacket. So we had to wear a jacket and tie. And old mate has introduced Adam Reynolds, and I've just come out. And this is like the start of the day, so no one knew who I was. I walked over, obviously the pod people knew, but like the crowd were like, huh? I'm like, I'm Adam Reynolds. Ask me anything. Do you want to know about Kev? And I'm looking at Renault, he's going, what are you doing? I went, ask me anything you want to know about Kev Walters. I'll tell you everything. I don't fucking like the guy. Like, I just started hammering.
And this was when it was still going good at the Bronx. This was before.
Yeah, when Kev first took over. Yeah. And then he goes, and the guy, he just went, okay. And how are you, Renault? Oh, yeah, good, mate. Yeah, as you can tell, I got stung by a heap of bees on the way in here. And blah, blah, blah. And then Adam's gone, I've heard enough. And it's just, he's come out and given me like a little fist bump and going, thanks, man. Yeah. Fuck off.
Get off.
It's so good. One of my favourite yarns from your podcast was a while ago. I think you're actually retelling the story, but it was from your younger years. There was a great beer heist. And
he's got the shirt on.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So basically, a truck fell in a river behind my nana's house, full of piss.
Yes, this is that little town that we grew up in. It was Easter. It was Easter weekend.
Yeah,
it was definitely a Good Friday, I think. Yeah. And it is a miracle.
It was a miracle on Easter.
A full semi-trailer of piss rolled just on the edge of the creek, and mate, for days there was dudes.
Yeah, at least 5 days.
Cutting bits of hose, trying to use that as snorkels and shit.
Yeah.
Flippers, and they got bodyboards with like milk crates just putting piss in it, and then their mates would swim it to the edge, put it in the car, and they'd just keep diving.
We were doing shifts. Like, we were working shifts and shit. And by the Monday, I think it was the Monday, the divers turned up and there was nearly a physicality. Like, divers run the water, like, yeah, you bastard. We're like, getting pissed.
Yeah, we had blokes in our footy team, like, cut their feet and shit. Couldn't play footy the next week because they'd cut their feet.
And it was technically
down the
stealing.
bottom.
And the grog company wanted to sue us and charge us and shit. So they were going to the hospital, getting all the names of the people getting stitches. And that's how they were going after people.
One bloke sunk a canoe. He had that much piss in his canoe. It re-sunk with the fucking piss in it.
My mate took the outboard off to push it across the river because the outboard was too heavy. We're like, fuck, we're not going to get the round club. So we're going across, and my nana's on the veranda going, get the fuck. She'd tell us which ones to get.
And it'd be weeks. It'd be like a month later, you go to someone's house, and when you crack the top off it, you just see all the rust on it. You go swamp beer. Still swamp beer, last of the swamp beer.
Yeah. No, that was all time. But I think it was funny part was when it first went in the river, there was a cop stand on this one cop, and there's like all these zombie-looking country kids turning up on the side of the river going, what's in the truck? And he's like, beer. Don't say beer. Beer. And he's like, now, no one is allowed to... Wait! It's just fucking sliding down the hill into the beer. Yeah. Oh, my... And the truck was still in there when we first started going in, and they had to get the truck out. Like, get out of the water, boys. So we're getting the truck out first.
Not
and then it all fell in. We're like, that's fucking... This is an Easter.
How much do you reckon you got?
Salvage rights.
Oh, I
Mate,
reckon.
the Rowan Club got a double garage full. Remember that picture?
Fuck.
So like twice the size of this room, just the floor was just covered in stubbies. The
And I
Rowan
reckon,
Club got
yeah,
the most.
just like a couple of my mates, like, literally full fridges. Like 2 blokes I know would have had full fridges.
It completely derailed the under-19s rugby league team season. Early days. Like, and actually on the documentary, because it's a doco.
There is a good doco. There is a
Yeah.
doco.
There's a doco. You can
Actually,
watch it, yeah.
Oh, we'll put a link in the show notes.
Moolabah Swampy. It's about an 8-10 minute video. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
And Kiwi, the coach of the 19s, you see him just go completely fucked us. We would have made the grand final that year, but the beer got him. It's a great doco.
It is a great doco. You got, like, interview coppers and everything about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
Cop
is,
was like,
it's
we
awesome.
turned our back and the bastards just went straight in a river.
But the number one question that pops straight into my mind is that Australia is just loaded with shit that will kill you. Was there nothing in that water?
There's bull sharks and
There
stuff
would
in
be
there.
bull sharks, yeah. There would be. It's near that, yeah.
They're the worst ones.
We haven't,
They're not good.
we haven't had, like, there's been nothing official, anyone dying there, but there's definitely bull sharks in it.
I don't swim north of Coolangatta. Because Queensland, everything in the water can eat you in Queensland. In New South Wales, we've only got the sharks.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'll take a risk.
Only got the sharks.
It's fucking wild though, isn't it? Like it's
it is.
crazy.
It
How
is.
people just watching their dogs get snatched off fucking riverbanks and
Well,
Oh, yeah. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, we went to Tully. The guy that comes on our show, Beetle's one of my best mates. And we were fishing up this river. It was called, it was in Tully, North Queensland. I can't think of the name of the river. We were going up the river anyway, and we're fishing, just flicking lures. And this old guy on a tractor on his cane farm just going, Jesus. And he's just driving his tractor. I'm going, what's that bloke looking at? And he just followed us slowly the whole day, like half a day. And we're just fucking fishing. He goes, I've seen enough, boys. You're going to have to get out of the river. And I'm like, fuck yeah, mate, we're not going anywhere. He's like, look at this. And he was showing us these big slides on the bank. And I'm like, what's that? And
fuck that.
Beetle's like swimming under a snag, trying to get his lure back completely underwater. And I'm out. I'm like, oh, mate, it's like there's crocodiles in the river. Like, oh, man, like this morning we were still in Moolumbar, no crocs. Then we were in Tully that afternoon, full of crocodiles.
Yeah,
it's a crazy setup.
And
mate.
we get, I'm petrified of snakes. Fucking, but it's because we owned a passion fruit farm growing up, and my old man's one of those fuckwits that pulls the snakes out of the vines and fucking throws them in the fucking next door to land on someone and thinks it's fucking funny. So I'm just petrified. I'm so bad with them. I actually sent through a thing to the show, actually, but it got read out when you blokes weren't here. You were on holidays. Water kangaroo. About the boys
what's
out
a
at
water
Quinnies that day. Where
don't know about
the not for radio listeners.
Just the
would know
hose
it.
up the
It was,
freckle?
yeah. So we're
Oh,
at a mate's. I
You
might
can tell it
retell
'cause
the
the
people.
guy,
Yeah, we'll
the
just
guy
say
when I
people.
told it still wants to fight me. So you tell it.
spread it around.
Yeah, very quickly. Anyway, it was
No names.
The mate who he said was going through a hard time there before with his divorce. And we went, get 20 of the boys out at his house. Lives on a big farm. We'll fucking get the slip and slide out. So we got fucking slip
I'm
and
having
slide. We're
no
doing
part of
this.
this.
Anyway, these two boys, sort of friends of friends, other footy boys from another team. Anyway, we look up on the hill, and one's nude, posing like a kangaroo, and the other one is twisting the end off the hose. And we're like, what's he doing? So he's just got the hose and going, straight, insert. And we're going, what's that? And he
enema.
just seems like it's holding it for an eternity. We're like,
Fill that like a water balloon.
what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, he's pulled it out, and we're all looking, what? And he just starts hopping around, and every hop, it's just squirting out the back.
And like I was at the bottom of the hill when it was happening, and the guy I was with is really wild. He's just going, I won't say the footy team name. He goes, they're fucking mad, these blokes. And I'm like, he's got a fucking hose on his bum.
It's about 20 minutes later, but
That
we're
was
sitting
longer.
there-
It was longer. It was a couple of hours, I reckon.
Yeah, we're sitting there having beers, and he laughs at one stage or something, and the last bit
The
come
rest
out.
come out. I was sitting on the veranda and you go, that's gross, man.
Oh my god!
Come on my feet.
Everything that you can get away with under, like you just basically you can do anything, like just go and shit in someone's mouth and go classic footy.
Yeah. Oh, we call it out. That's content. Yeah, it's content. Like me nearly getting deported in the airport coming in. Like, Gibbo goes, what's going to happen now? I said, it's just going to be good content if I go to jail. Yeah, it's fucking great.
So he's got a card for weed in Australia?
It's because I'm sad. Don't.
I don't know. You can get it for anything.
Yeah.
No, sad.
It's not because you're hungry. So he's messaging me. He's like, is weed legal in New Zealand? I was like, nah. And I was like, oh, hang on. If you got a card, because Westy's brother comes over from Australia as well. You got a card, you're sweet.
Yeah.
And then I was like, did you declare it? He's like, nah. He's like, just tucked him behind someone else. All his bags and shit got scanned and went straight through. I was like, fuck, we've got the toughest borders on the planet. Like, they fucking...
Mate,
No, you don't.
I beg to differ.
I beg to differ.
Mate, if you walk through with 3 cherry tomatoes, you're fucked. That beagle will be right up your ass.
Two Koreans got swooped on in front of me. I'm like, fuck yeah, Korea. Like, straight around. I'm stereotyping. I'm assuming they were Korean because they're the ones that bring the dogs and shit in. We know that. But, like, and there was big signs saying, it was dead set. You see, the signs at the airport say Koreans come this way.
Oh.
Like, not, they weren't
Would
just.
have been like flights that were coming in that day.
Well, I thought it was because of all the food you see on border control.
Yeah, possibly.
I like to see you read Korean.
Yeah, fluently
Like
when I got off the
English is
plane.
hard enough.
Enough tubes on the plane and you can.
No, the service on the way over actually got the guy's name. Can I,
Yeah.
I'll bring up
I think
the
it was
And who are you
James.
flying with? Our national carrier.
It was Air New Zealand.
Air New Zealand,
Air
and
New
they're
Zealand.
fantastic.
nice.
I,
They were
I cannot say enough about New Zealand flights or the service over here is unbelievable. So James Walker on Air New
Oh, you going
Zealand.
last name too.
Yeah, fuck him. Well, I'm not going to say anything bad about him.
He was great.
Absolute
He
fucking
was born to
legend.
do it.
Like, he came through and he's like, what are you two troublemakers up to here? And here we go, Gibbo's getting a fuck. I'm out. Like, you go hard, James. Gibbo's sacrificial lamb here, man. Unless he's in the Bears, I'm safe, you know. And he was such a nice guy, and he's like having a yarn to us and all this sort of stuff. And the guy beside me, who I said, it was a 2-hour, 50-minute flight. The guy who sat beside me, or under me, it was like a 9-hour flight.
He was so disturbed.
He
the
was
poor
so
bloke.
upset. He was livid. He took a photo of my feet.
But he ordered the fish.
Well, no, I didn't order the fish. I'm a glutard, right? So I've ordered the glutard meal.
And continued to burp in this poor guy's face.
I said sorry every time. And it was,
Oh, that makes it better.
So I was sitting like this, and Gibbo's off the aisle to my right. I've got this dude sitting beside me, and another bloke just rolling his eyes with his headphones on. I'm just going, because they gave me fish. Who the fuck you just psychopaths gives you fish on a flight? And I've just gone,
And filling you up with piss as well.
oh, sorry, mate. He's like, oh. SOS.
So what's been the itinerary since you've been here?
We have drunk so much piss.
Oh, it was a big day yesterday. It was a big day.
Do you call them hookers over here? Westy does. Westy's like, yeah. Because we can't find any.
Yeah, not high class.
No.
I got a standard massage. That was great.
I've never been so disappointed in a human in my whole life. He goes, I'm going to get a massage. I'm like, yeah, boy.
I was sitting in there and I was sending Kirb's photos of the posters on the wall. The first one said, "Do not ask for anything sexual. That is, we want you to enjoy the massage. Nothing to do with that."
That's when I left.
And then the next one down the bottom was like forehand massage. I'm like, I'm getting mixed signals. Forehand massage sounds great. Yeah. Three.
So he went and got a massage. I stayed home and forehand massaged myself on his bed. What about, you're bad when like the guy you're staying with leaves and goes, don't shit in my toilet. Didn't tell me anything else. That's all he said. So I just went, fuck you.
Stay
I'm
away.
fucking going in.
Didn't say not to wank in my bed.
Yeah. Fuck. Actually, I
Look at him
did.
looking
I
at
did
me.
say that too.
Did you shit in
And he
my
goes, no,
fucking toilet?
he reckons he's saving it till he gets home.
I go off when we get in the cab. I'll be shitting in his fucking.
So we pretty much drunk enough piss to sink a ship so far. I plan on doing more of that.
I'm not today. I'm shaking so bad. I nearly vomited. We went into the wrong fucking office here.
Where'd you go?
Some accountant's firm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've
Not
rolled
much
in.
of a vibe in there.
Yeah,
No,
I
he
said
wasn't
to him,
real
this
happy with
is
us.
not a radio station, mate. And he goes, bloke walks in. Is this a radio station? No, mate. Well, your sanitizer's fantastic. And walks out.
I had a selection of sanitizers, so I was working my way through them.
So you got a couple of podcasts to record. You're doing one tonight.
Yeah, so we'll do this one now with you guys. We'll come back tonight and we'll turn the tables and interview you guys, which will be cool. And because Gibbo's a really good interviewer, and I'm not. Thank God. And then tomorrow we've got a lay day, and then Thursday.
And we're going out for dinner tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
This is literally the only thing you've got to do tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, we'll find something.
it is.
We're going up the Needle tomorrow, if it's not raining.
Going on Sky Tower.
Yeah.
He's way more excited than me.
Is it Carl Barron, the comedian?
Yes,
yeah,
very
so
funny.
the Australian comedian. He came over here and did this comedy series. We basically used to get tickets to go to these things. And he goes, so it's like the largest building in the Southern Hemisphere. And he goes,
Is it?
It's kind of like getting a toothpick and jamming it in the end of your dick and saying that you've got a 12-inch cock. You get 6 inches of skewer in the end of it and fucking still claim it as length. It's like, what a pile of shit.
It's not bigger than the Q1, is it? In the Gold Coast?
Nah, that would have been before then.
Yeah,
I
because
think
the Q1's big.
Yeah, we've got apartment buildings downtown that are bigger than that. There's one actually at the moment that hasn't been finished. They've had, like, from what I can gather, a bit of a fucking dust up between the people funding it and the builders on it. So it's kind of been derelict. Big fucking building downtown. Off the top of it's this monstrous fucking sky crane. And this 15-year-old gun climbed up, because there's no security or anything on it or whatever, climbed up all the way and did a one-handed hang on it and selfied off the top. My hands sweat when I say it.
Worst nightmare as a parent.
Sick. Fucking.
That's not good.
A hoodie or some shit, eh?
Yeah, pretty, like, such a sketchy setup.
Did he survive?
Yeah.
What a fucking loon.
That's no good.
Nah.
That
is not good.
Well, we went to go yesterday, but it was raining, and we argued with the guy. Well, I did. Gibbo didn't know what was going on. And I'm like, we're going up. And the guy who works there's going, nah, it's raining. I'm like, so?
Talking you out of it?
Yeah, and he's
I
like...
did. He said, do not go.
He goes, don't go.
You'll be looking at the ground.
He goes, yeah, it's cloudy. I'm like, yep. So we're going up there to look over the cloud. He goes, bro, it's going to be in the clouds. So we've spent $100 he didn't want us to spend. He's like, don't buy. And we still bought the tickets. So we're going
you get to push it out till tomorrow.
Yeah, you can go whenever.
But we got a haircut. We got some...
Oh, gives it look.
Mate, the back of my head looks like my aunie's ass. Look at this.
So he texts me asking where a good barber is. And I got back to him like 15 minutes later, and then I get a text back saying, information I got to fucking use earlier. I got my head shaved.
He got the apprentice.
And the barber doesn't sell beanies.
He fucked me.
He's like the guy said, he was a young fella. I'm sure
Nice
he's
guy
apprentice.
from Chile.
Yeah, and he's
Really nice,
he
really
said,
nice
I'll
kid.
do the fade. And I said, that sounds sick, Kirbs. Just
didn't
think
know
it's
what
going
a
to be a
fade
little
was.
fade at the back. He goes, what's a fade? Anyway, old mate's got the 0 and just gone straight halfway up his head. And I'm thinking, where's he fading this?
I look
Kirbs
like a fat bird from Sesame Street. I'm Fat Beaker. Fat Beaker.
And it just kept going. He just kept shaving higher and higher.
Mate, I'm just sitting there just going, oh, he goes, you like him? Yeah, keep going.
It's tough when you're in the chair and someone's, like, even at a
Can't
restaurant.
grow it back. Like, even if you say, no, you fucked that up. Like, there's no point in saying that. It's not like he can
So
put the hair
far
back on
up.
your head.
And he's
Just giggling. I'm just
yeah.
going, I'm fucking going to kill you.
He's yelling, I'm losing. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. And he's going, you fucking do whatever you're doing to me to him. You fucking...
Yeah, and this dude who cut Gibbo's hair.
Hey, and then I go 3 on the side and scissors on top, please, mate.
He literally, like, he goes, don't be rude, do what you got to do. I'm like, yeah, fuck. I'm sitting there going, fuck, this guy is shaving my head. And he goes, you wanted 0? I'm like, yeah, mate, I'm in your capable hands. And that's why I
That's
should
where
not
he
have
went
said
wrong.
that.
He's tried to blame me, but he said to this
I
kid,
did say that.
You do whatever you want, mate.
And
I'm in
Gibbo
your
sits
hands.
down, and it's like, Gibbo just sits down, and I'm thinking he's going to say, just do what you want, because you're going to back a mate up. Gibbo goes, just a 3 on the top, mate, a bit of a scissor. And I just loudly go,
He
you
was so
fucking
angry.
dog.
He was so angry.
It's like in my comedy show I do, like my hour, I've got a bit in there, which is, so all my stuff's true, and then I just mayo it to make it funny most of it's pretty funny because I'm fucking klutz. But I add shit to make it funny. But this part is all true. So I was working as a plumber for a mate of mine, and we were working at the Hare Krisna farm. You know the Hare Krisna, like the white Indians, and they're fucking peaceful, loving, great people. Yeah. He goes to me, he goes, don't have breakfast. We're going out there on Friday. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, don't have breakfast, man. We'll get there, they want to feed us, you'll offend them. And I went, oh, yeah, whatever. So I got up, had breakfast. Like, full of bacon and shit. And we were driving out the Hare farm, we walked in, and I won't give most of my set away, but we're doing a bit of work, and they start bringing out the food. I've watched this guy, I had to go with him to the toilet to show me what's wrong with the toilet. He put his hand in the bowl, right? And it's blocked. And he's going, look at it, mate. It's a bit little. I was like, yeah, I'll get the picture, mate. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. He then goes back in to the kitchen and goes, I'll make you a samosas. And I'm going, oh, fuck. And my boss is behind him going, he didn't know what had just happened. And I'm like, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. I don't know if he did. I didn't see him, but I hope he did. And I'm just going, oh. And my bosses look at me going, don't you say fucking no. Like, we're going to work here, man. They've told us I'm like, fuck. I go, what's the samosas? I didn't know what it was. He goes, we deep fry. I heard deep fry. I went, cool. Everything's going to be dead. You know? So he fucking gets it. He makes it go, I'll make you a big one. I'm like, yeah, cool. And he's like making it, and then he deep fries it, and he hands it to me. I take a bite out of it, and I went, what's this? This is fucking delicious. He goes, it's a vegetarian. And I just... You know, you get the music in your ears. He said vegetarian. He lost me. He goes, vegetarian. I went, doo, doo. like scene missing. I'm like, fucking vegetarian. What the fuck? My head's like going off. Where's the cow? Like,
Sacred.
yeah, I'll get to that. I won't get to that. You have to see one of my shows. But it was actually the elephant that I offended, and that's even worse than the cow. I find out, but and you just won't find out on here. You have to watch my show. So I'm eating this thing. Oh, that's fucking really nice. And I'm like, but in my head, I'm like, he didn't wash his fucking hands.
But he did deep fry.
But he did deep fry. They turned to my boss and he goes, would you like one, mate? And my boss goes, nah, man, full as. And I'm like, and yes, so I'm flashing back. Dude, this fuckhead, it's the same thing. So I plowed through that, and then they bring in these shots, and I will give a bit of my set away because it's just for the story. It's funny. They make this like a goop. It's the only way to describe it, right? And it's in fucking shot
French.
Le goop, right? And it's in fucking shot glasses, and it's like a syrupy looking thing. And they're like, "Would you like a drink?" And I'm like, "No." And my boss is like, "Just have a drink." And I'm like, "Okay." So I get a shot, and I went, "Oh," and I took a shot, and I went, "Fuck, that's nice." I got my finger in, and I'm digging it out. I think on stage I say I had about 5, but I think I had about 2 or 3. Like, legit. My boss is going, good. I'm like, fucking sweet as. He goes to have one, and then the lady come in. He goes, oh, and he stopped. And she's done like the walk past. I'll do it on stage, but I can't do it here. She like walked past and sees 3 empty shot glasses on the table and just stops and goes and spins with a jug of water in her hand. She goes, who had these? And I went, oh, I did. She goes, how many did you have? And I went, them. She goes, did you share? I went, no, I had them. She steps back and she goes, oh. And I went, what's oh? She goes, we mixed one of them into one of these 3-litre jugs. Oh. I go, what is that? She goes, looks like a super cleanser. Like for your guts. Oh. And they mix it with fucking water and they all have a sip of it. And it apparently keeps you clean. 3 shots, I can tell you what it does. It turns you inside out. I'm just like, and I won't go into the rest of my set, but I had to relieve myself in a certain part of that temple that I should not have been in.
Into the donation box.
And I just remember getting my tools and I'm going, my boss would drive me home. I'm about to fucking die. And I shit for like 2 days. Like, oh man, it was just horrific. It was horrific,
it's just a good mix-up, eh? You got to cross those bridges, particularly when it comes to the cultural divides.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, you had no idea what a fucking samosa is. How old are you?
Yeah.
What do you eat?
Mate, it's
Meat pies. Chico rolls.
There's something every week. We're very cultured.
Yeah, I'm learning shit all the time.
Let's touch on the boxing fight night that's coming up.
Yeah,
so the
Alpha
podcast
events, yep.
Royale.
Yep.
2.8, you blokes meowed it.
Yeah.
It's a shit house.
Yeah.
Really shit house.
Yeah, it's just a timing thing. You had weddings and stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
I got a wedding in Byron, which is like, I mean, it's
down the road.
I know, it's just
I
down
live
the road.
in Byron. Do you? I live just outside, yeah. So I live in a town just between Byron Bay and Nimbin. So I can get ice and weed.
So that's like being on a drug season.
Yeah.
So for those people that don't understand what Nimbin is, like Nimbin is, you know about Nimbin?
Oh, yeah.
Oh mate, it's like a loophole in the planet.
Yeah. They have the Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
The weed festival. The Mardi Gras. It's
Did you hear what
it's a different planet. Like you drive in there, it is just a different planet in the middle of nowhere.
I asked a good mate of mine, he's got a podcast called The Alpha Blokes, and we're on the dance floor at this joint 2 Thursday nights ago. And I went, hey man, I want to tell you the Mardi Gras, eh? And he goes, hey? And I'm looking him dead in the eye. I went, Mardi Gras, I want to tell you, he's hearing Mardi Gras. I'm saying Mardi Gras. He goes, I love you, man, but I'm not going to fucking Mardi Gras with you. And I'm like, dude, you got to go to Mardi Gras with me, eh? And he's like, fuck off. Like, but Mardi Gras is like the weed weekend.
Yeah.
So how do they not? I guess weed's legal there, but
No, this has been. So it's
No.
been like there's been like a loophole in
Forever.
Yeah, in some weird law statute that they basically got.
I don't know. The cops just seem to leave them alone. If they leave the cops alone. I don't think it's like a big...
It's like mini Amsterdam though. You turn up there and just get like pages of acid and fucking big bags of mushrooms and all sorts of shit.
I've never tried anything but weed. Like I've never tried anything else. I'm dead serious about it. Like I don't do it. The weed. But there's something in Nimbin that they just don't. The cops just don't book them. I think if they're not openly doing stupid shit, they've just left them alone for like 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to
Like
drive out,
forever.
get yourself a big cake, That'd last you about a month.
Oh, me.
Drive home.
It'll be gone when I get home.
The shops just sell it there. Like
No.
you
You can't just
gotta
walk in
knock
and
on the
go.
door.
You've got to sort of know where to roll.
Yeah, okay.
I buy mine from the chemist in Main Street. I've got a fucking sad card. I'm good. So good. I'm sad. Here's marijuana. Cool. Now I'm not sad.
A mate of mine was just staying at this Airbnb. And surf's been pumping. We don't often get waves on the east coast at the moment. There's big tropical cyclones just whipped through. Got heaps of swells pushed in. So he's an older bloke and he's just fucking, he can do whatever he wants, charging around. Goes into this Airbnb and he goes, fucking have a go at this. So in the garden, off the deck, is like a 7-foot tall weed plant. Just
Oh, shit.
not hidden, not nothing. Guy says, can you water my plants while I'm away?
Airbnb guy. What a
That's
fucking
great.
legend.
Yeah.
That's great. Actually, when I was a horticulturist working for me first boss, he was the champion.
Hey, just to clarify, was it a commercial weed grower or the actual horticulturist?
No, actual horticulturist,
Okay,
yeah,
so
landscape. Yeah.
He mowed lawns at the uni.
So, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was. Yeah, qualified horticulturist, what do you do? Literally mow the lawns fucking 40 hours a week. Dug some holes. Yeah.
Stalked hairdressers on the tape.
Anyway, we're at this bloke's house. We just mowed his lawn, and my boss was going around as I was blowing down. He's just spraying the weeds in the like around the footpath and that, and he's just completely sprayed the weed plant, just not thinking, about 6 foot, and then keeps going. He goes, "Holy shit!" He's realised after he's done, he's got the hose, he's watering it down.
Was it his?
Long story short, no, we're just at
someone's.
bloke's house, his mate's house,
Yeah.
and. Yeah, down the track, he said, mate, whatever he told him straight away, mate, I've watered it down that. He goes, whatever you did, he goes, the biggest plant he's ever got. He goes, it's like a fucking
Super plant.
It's like a super plant. He said, do whatever you did to the next one.
Mate, it's the best thing, and like touching on like our podcast, we do work a lot of mental health, right? And it's through laughter and just stupidity and stupid shit. But we do have angles that we go down, and everything's got a reason that we have this joke and stuff like that. But the weed side of it, I was on Valium because I had it's still full-blown depression, anxiety, panic attacks. Like I've got my fucking panic kit here. Panic attacks and just all this sort of shit goes on.
So talk us through what this is and what it does to sort of help you out when you are in there. Because
Yeah.
I had my first one at the end of last year ever.
It's horrific.
And I was like, holy fuck. I felt like my ticker was going to blow out of my chest.
yeah.
And then my missus basically just smothered me.
You gotta, yeah.
And just fucking put pressure on you because...
Yep.
And we had a guy on TJ Power and he was talking about...
Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna
Listen
get to
to
that.
Yeah,
I'm
really
gonna
good.
get to TJ.
Yeah, really good.
He's like that oxytocin or that connection
Yep.
piece is what actually brings you back down. Like it's you like
So you
freaking
need
out
weight.
as a baby.
You need weight on you, so you can get like a heavy blanket and stuff like that. So you need weight on you. But for me, I used to go to these classes, and like when I first lost my shit in 2018, I started doing this therapy and going to these different things. It was like a little bit of exercise. Taught me to meditate and all this sort of shit. I haven't spoken about
Lots
this.
of wanking.
Lots of mutual masturbation, which is odd because it was in the park. But anyway, at the end of the session, she brought out these doTERRA fucking oils. And for whatever reason, peppermint just stuck to me. I'm like, fucking like that smell. And it had a panic attack at the panic attack retreat.
Oh, wow.
I'm like,
Perfect place to have one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And what she did,
Did she go, this is like, okay, guys, here is a great learning example
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I know, that you're fucking freaking out here, but I need everyone to gather around and you're like, fuck off!
I was like furiously masturbating. I've like just she just knew, and I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm freaking out, like something's gonna happen. My stuff was like back in the old days, it was just called good old fucking hypochondriac. Now it's called fucking health anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So I've wigged out at this thing because we were doing something, and I'm like, oh, my chest and blah blah blah, and she just got peppermint and put it on her finger and just rubbed it under my nose, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And she has peppermint, and I just started to breathe a bit and open my nostrils up, and I could breathe because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Like I was like I was having a panic attack. I'm like, fuck. So I'm hooked on it. So everywhere I Gibbo knows, like everywhere I go, I've got peppermint in my pocket.
He does. And it was
I've
actually
got
funny
this
before
other
he
one
left
too.
this morning. He went to have his big whiff, puts it in his bugle and big sniff back. He goes, fuck. I've just sniffed me balance one, not his
I
peppermint.
threw myself
He
out.
put the wrong one up the nose.
Hit the balance this morning. I was like my tit for about 3 minutes. I'm like, fuck, that's great.
So can I just...
Yeah.
Because this, I mean, I sauna most nights, and this I'd use the exact same oils to
Yeah.
tip into the sauna.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
yeah,
put it on
right.
my
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So I just put my finger on the end of it and put it up my nose.
It is a fucking delicious smell.
It's a
isn't
great
it?
smell.
And that
It
brings
just
you
calms
back,
me.
Yeah, it brings
So
you
I
back.
don't, when I was sitting here, you would have been. I think you were watching. Going, what is that fat guy
Yeah.
doing with that fucking bottle? He's thinking, what's in that fucking bottle, man? But I just put some on my finger, and I just and it just calms me. I just instantly calm
Yeah, you
down.
literally have got it on your person everywhere.
Everywhere I go, I've got bottles everywhere.
So what's the rest of that journey been like for you?
Good now. Good. This helps heaps.
Yeah.
It's still at the start of the podcast. I was starting to get panic attacks a little bit going into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting heaps better. But back to the weed side of it, like, so I've grown up traditionally with my man, terrified, fucking drugs are bad, I'll bash her. Like, so I got into weed when I was younger, like as everyone does, I guess. Just like smoking joints and carrying on, I guess.
Listen to Cypress Hill.
Yeah, I fucking love those guys. Now I've got that in my head. You fuck me, don't do that. I'm a music guy, so we can't talk about music. We talk about it a lot, so I just loop out on it. But yeah, fuck you. What were we saying? Now I'm thinking about
Dad hated
Dad, gonna bash you.
yeah, dad weed. So, anyway, so I wigged out. End up, long story short, had a nervous breakdown, like a mental breakdown or whatever, and just completely fucked out in 2018, and it was fucked. And the people I were working for were brilliant. They were like a big, massive company. The guy who I worked directly for was like a general manager of the entire Australia, but I'd known him when I first started there. He was like my direct line boss, so I developed a relationship. He hated me, but loved me at the same time, because like managing this is hard, right?
It's a fucking handful.
I get it.
So like I've rung him from a particular store, and I'm going, I didn't know what was happening. I was having this fucking breakdown and all this sort of shit. So anyway, got home. He goes, mate, have as long as you need. So I had like a month, 6 weeks off. My doctor, who's a fucking legend, who has also aged dramatically since 2018, he's like, we'll get you on the Valium. So I started chewing Valium. Like I said, I've never taken drugs. Like, I've never been a drug person, right? I don't regard weed as a drug because I just think it's fucking not after what it's doing now. So I started punching Valium and getting on the script. And then he jerried and goes, how much fucking this are you having? I'm like, I'm taking like 2 of them a night.
Tic Tacs.
Like, holy shit. And I was taking them to go to the podcast. The only thing I wouldn't drink when I took them, because I knew, because I'm a hypochondriac, because I'm like health anxiety, I knew grog and Valium. Everyone else goes, yes! And I'm like, no, it'll fucking kill you. So it'd keep me off the piss. Have a couple of them, go to the pod. And then I went to the doctor. Oh, mate, it was like only 3 months ago. And I was going, there's got to be something. I wanted to get off the Valium. I said, I'm fucking sick of this shit. He goes, let's try medical marijuana. I went, yeah, I'll give it a go. Got me on the oils. And I went, fuck, just THC and CBD oil.
Yeah.
Got on it. It doesn't whack you. It's sort of like a slow build, but then my brain just switched off. I remember it the first time I had it, and my brain just turned off, and I went, fuck just happened, because I got an IQ of 140, right?
It's never switched
hard
back
to
on.
believe. And I was just going, and I was like, took this oil and just went, shit, this is what life's like.
Wow.
Like pre-2018, I was like, holy fuck, I'm cleared. No cloud. The ground isn't spongy. I'm not thinking about fucking pod work, fucking all this shit. Sponsors, making money, supporting our families, and fucking I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Amazing.
One night of this.
But that was like, if you even go back, like historically, most of our medicine was like pre-60s was cannabinoid based.
Exactly.
And so we've got cannabinoid receptors, and they are much better at transferring information and calming
unreal.
yourself down. And then we put opiates in there, and that's what's fucked everything up.
Yeah,
So
opiates are the worst things.
all your medicine, for the most part, for the last, for 100 years, basically leading up to that point, was cannabinoid based.
Exactly. And my wife hates, because I'm like, I've got Nurofen and Panadol with us, but I reluctantly take it. And I've never been into chemicals. I've just never liked that. I don't know what it is, probably where I grew up, like near Nimbin, I don't know. But I've always had this foil hat when it comes to drugs. And that's why I didn't go near cocaine or anything else, because it scared me. You know what I mean? And it still scares me, because now I see the effect of people doing it too much. And I'm like, fuck, but this stuff is just, and on the box it says, pure THC, CBD. Tastes like bud it tastes like shit when you have it. But I'm like, within 20 minutes, I'm like, fuck, and now I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
The downside to it, and it's fucked, and the New South Wales government are working on it at the moment, is if I have a gummy, like a 10 milligram gummy at night time, I can't legally drive in Australia for 3 days.
What?
3 days, because it picks up in your system for 3 days. Where like, I had a gummy last night. Woke up this morning, I'm fucking not an issue.
And you also would have punched 3,000 fucking beers yesterday.
What a suck.
And you could turn up and you could go to work this morning and you could be driving a truck this morning.
Yes.
And you could be dusty. And that's, I reckon that it's a tricky one. It's I don't know, it's not the same here in New Zealand, but over in Australia, my mates still work in like heaps of FIFO
Are they all
guys.
scaffolders?
No, heaps of scaffolders. But anyone that's in a vehicle, all of them are fucking breatho operated.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
all
right.
the vehicles are breatho operated.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, right.
But you can have 2 Valium the night before, be bombed the next day.
Yeah.
Not affected by Valium, but hungover. You get,
Yeah.
you get
Yeah,
fog, you
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like Westy's nodding his head, you get that fucking fog. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I've got to drive with Valium in my system. It's legal. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is fucking bullshit. I wake up the next day after a gummy going, well, you don't even know you had a... And I'm sleeping. I'm fucking...
do you not? Interesting. Do you have dreams?
I did, then I met Gibbo and they all got fucked.
Oh shit!
Hopes and aspirations. I was like, when you go to sleep at night, because this is the thing. Like, I try everything. Like, I'm fucking piggish. Like, I'm the same as you. Monkeys fucking throwing shit at each other upstairs, like fucking smashing cymbals. Like, it's chaos up there. And so I find it really tricky to sort of switch off, smack it into neutral, and sort of coast away as well.
Have one of these.
No, fuck, because I'm fucking all in. So once I start, I'm all in. But I've been having this. A friend of mine basically has put me into this almost like a clinical trial for this a peptide which comes out of deer milk.
Right.
And fuck me, it's like dreaming on acid. So
Yeah, right.
last night I was fucking dreaming about having this podcast, but we were fucking checking out my mate's nana who grows grass for a fucking living, and there's like a real spidery fucking house that she's like, it's fucking awesome.
That sounds cool.
And I wake up brand new, like rolling out of it. This is the first time in like probably 10, 15 Have you been taking those things?
Yeah, weirdly, how fuck's this? My dream last night, I was dreaming about sleeping more.
Yeah, right.
So I was in my dream. I was in bed going, "Fuck, this sleep is mean," but I knew that I was dreaming about sleeping.
That's
So
awesome.
they're probably
so
working.
It's basically so you get into such a deep state of REM sleep, basically that sleep
It's
cycle.
corpse mode.
That that's when you really start to flood these fucking wild dreams, and that's how I know that it's working. And the other way that I know it's working is my missus fucking hates dreaming. She hates it. She would rather just be absolutely put out cold and not dream. So she took some and she
Love a
woke
good
up and
dream.
she was like, fuck, I feel like I haven't slept. I had so many fucking weird dreams last night.
Lucid
And I was
lucid
like,
dreaming makes you tired as fuck.
Yeah, so that's why I know that. That's how I know that it's working.
So how long have you done that for? Have you been
Probably
taking-
like a week, but it was like fuck first night I was into it. So
and each night's like similar. Doesn't like it's not like it's wearing off.
doesn't no.
Yeah,
no.
right.
Because this guy needs it.
Yeah, I'm a horrible. So I'm the same. I go down all the road. For me, I like if I haven't taken magnesium for a while, I'll have like magnesium powder, and I'll be the same. I'll dream like anything, but it sort of works for 2 nights for me.
Yeah.
Like if I try and keep doing it, it doesn't work.
1,000 megs and then zinc on top of that too is a real good one.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
Well, the weed has. I was getting Valium dreams, which were violent and like scary
shit.
dreams. Yeah, and that's when I wasn't happy with life at all with that shit. But the weed, to sleep, man. I can't remember dreaming, to be honest, for a little while. Like it just knocks you out.
Fuck, you must be excited about the future, like feeling like you've unlocked your brain.
I can
for
tell
the
you what,
first
about
time
8
in
o'clock every night I see the future. That part's cool. I just sit there going, oh, fuck. The Vikings are coming back. Valhalla.
But you are.
Yeah,
like
I'm really excited because I know it's coming. Like,
Yeah.
like people are starting to fucking work out. Like the governments are starting now to work out if they can successfully work out how to tax the fuck out of it, they'll make it legal, right? And that's what's going to happen. But the thing is, if it's grown, for me, if it's grown and not full of chemicals and all this sort of shit, and it's helping me and my fucking anxiety and my family and dealing with my shit, it's unreal. Like my kids know now. Like so, we had to talk with my kids. So I'm a dad. I got a 18-year-old last week and a 16-year-old in October. And drugs are bad. Never do drugs. I'll fucking smashes, right? And now I've got weed.
Yeah.
So we've had to have the talk. And my oldest one goes, I don't care. As long as you don't smoke it and I don't see you smoking, I don't care. So that's the rule.
Yeah.
So I get oils and pastels. And that's just what fucking happens. Yeah. And they're good now. They understand because like I'll have half a gummy and I can function. Like without...
Have they noticed the difference? And your wife must have massively
And
as
I'm
well.
not having it every night.
Yeah.
So, like, with Valium, I'd get home and go, I didn't know, but I was, like, addicted to Valium. I didn't know. I'd get home from wherever and I'd have 2 Valiums and just walk around and do shit at home. And I'm like, fuck, now with weed, if it's, like, tonight, I might not, if I'm not stressed out and the monkeys aren't smashing cymbals, I won't have weed. I won't have the oil or the gummies because I just don't need it. And I don't have that, doesn't have that, like, pull, you must have me.